everybody. I'm Dwayne.
And I'm Tom.
And this is
Our Recovery Life. Topic
tonight is making mistakes in recovery.
Mistakes in recovery. You haven't made any of those, have you?
Oh, I got a PhD in making mistakes. It's something I'm good at, actually. In the beginning of recovery, my mistakes looked like I just wanted to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I'd made so many mistakes out there in the streets and running amok that it was like an all or nothing, that pendulum swing that we talk about. It went from this way to I swung all the way, and I don't want to make mistakes. I don't trust myself in decision making, so I'm just gonna, not do hardly anything. Everything's safe and really not living life.
It wasn't your fault anyway.
No, and and still had that mentality. Had not using anymore, but still had nothing was my fault, and it took some time to get out of that. But everything had to be perfect, and I was just really, really tired of making mistakes. So I just kind of didn't do a lot, and that kind of moved for quite a while until on and on. You make more mistakes and you start kind of learning from that. But yeah, the recovery thing, it took me a while to get the mistake, making mistakes and not pointing my fingers so fast. So how about yourself? What did that look like?
Oh, mistakes for me in the beginning. I think the mistakes I made are similar to yours. Like, I did not want to... I figured it was like a one-shot deal.
Yeah.
Like, you screw this up and everything's over. I had this little, voice in the back of my head that I couldn't do this anyway. Just really fragile at the beginning. Like,
we got to ace this test.
Yeah, for sure. Because when I was out there before and I tried and quit on my own, I stubbed my toe. Well, now we got to get high. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
it's Friday.
Yeah. I was gonna quit, but so and so stopped by.
There goes that.
Yeah. That was you a few times, I think. So, yeah, I had that going on. I also had this idea that I got this green backpack. Mm-hmm. Anybody that knows me when I got clean, had this green backpack I brought everywhere I went, and I had every book in it.
Like the Dora Explorer of Recovery.
Oh, yeah. She's a little taller, though, I think. But, yeah, it was the Dora, the Explorer of Recovery, and I had my little backpack, and I had every pamphlet and every... enough pens for everyone in the room, and
literature up the wazoo.
Oh yeah, I was Mr. Recovery. You know what I mean? Mm. And that really had nothing to do with keeping me clean. and then my next thing was, I'm gonna read this book and I'm gonna memorize all this stuff. And I came to the realization that knowledge without action is nothing. So you can memorize the book, you can have all the stuff in your backpack, but if you don't use it, then it doesn't really mean anything. Yeah. And that's a mistake I made. I made this mistake that if I had all the right tools, then I would just be good to go.
Yeah.
But I had to take the tools out and use them.
Yeah.
So, and it's a lot different now.
Yeah, what now?
Now, I really rely on the Serenity Prayer. A lot.
Yeah.
And, that accept the things you cannot change. Change the things you can. And that wisdom to know the difference. I didn't realize how important that was.
That's the key.
Yeah, until I'm trying to, change stuff that I can't and accept things that I could change. And, I had it all screwed up. And so it took a while to figure out what that wisdom, how to use that wisdom.
Yeah.
Because, wisdom is something you gain, and I didn't have it at the beginning, that's for sure. Yeah. But the one mistake that I didn't make is I didn't relapse. And that's a tough one. And I know a lot of people have relapsed, and it takes a lot to come back, and I'm really proud of anybody that has been on that journey and has come back.
That's some big, I just, to go out and come back, and granted, not everyone gets to come back, but just taking it on the chin and earning that, learning from that mistake and coming back and saying, I messed up. Man, you guys are like warriors. That's
right. Well, and that's the key. In a smaller sense, just regular mistakes that you make.
Yeah.
Not to beat yourself up over them. Learn from them, accept them, make amends if you have to, and move on. You can't let somebody else's opinion of you hold you back.
Yeah.
And you just have to move on from there. Like I always talk about being in the now. Don't let the stuff that happened before drag you down. Learn from it, move on. Don't worry about the stuff that's coming, which I'm really not that good at yet, but that's a whole nother episode.
That's a whole nother episode.
But, mistakes you're going to make them.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing I had to learn, that, I'm not perfect, shocker. But, yeah, it's a whole different perspective, and I think I do a pretty good job now. Sometimes I make mistakes I don't know I made. Those are a little more tricky, but got a pretty good handle on it. How about yourself?
I'm still not the initial mistake. Someone coming to me saying, "Hey, I still," and I'm not. My initial knee-jerk reaction still isn't the best. I still get out my matador, ole! My finger starts coming up right away, kind of like my kids sometimes. It was him, you know. I have that reaction, that natural, but I've learned how to fight that, and it goes something like this, where I disengage this, and I engage or try to engage this or this, and it's a big deal. Sometimes just buying myself a little bit of time to not, well, it was him, come up with the excuse and just listen. Sometimes just the Serenity Prayer. Sometimes another big thing I do now is, where's this coming from? Is this coming from a person that loves me and cares about me? Then my filter's completely different. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, this person loves me and cares about me, and that's why I keep really good people around me, where that's usually what my sponsor, a lot of my core people, when they're telling me that, this is what we're seeing, this is a mistake, whatever, it's coming from a place of love, not from, hater. They're not, I can filter that through that lens. And even someone else that's telling me, hey, I'm noticing this. My fiance, right away I'm like, obviously, I want to point out her stuff. But just stopping.
Oh, yeah. You ever get caught in the, like, oh, yeah, it's totally my fault, but if so-and-so wouldn't have done
Back Sunday, if you wouldn't have did this, and all those dominoes, that's why I did this. That's when I had my master. That's where my backpack comes out.
Oh.
But, the key is to, again, stop my mouth from doing that, and buy the time to just hold up and take what okay, I messed up. And that's a big deal. Like, that's a big badge for me when I can say, yeah, I did it, my bad. And not getting stuck. Not getting stuck when I do make a mistake, they happen. It's just that's how there are. Some of my biggest mistakes, when I look back, some of my biggest growth spurts came after big mistakes.
Oh, opportunity.
Opportunity where I just, was like, damn, I dropped the ball bad. Man, I did this, or why did I figuring out why I did that, and owning it and moving on. And when I look at when I did my biggest kind of periods of growth, it's been after some pretty big mistakes. But the key is to own it and to fix it and move on, and then just, it's in the past.
Absolutely.
And another big thing is training my mind, like my self-talk, talking to my HP, and when I make a mistake, instead of my mind has a way of telling me you're a mistake, you messed up, you never get it right, and especially early in recovery, because that's the tape that played in my mind all the time, like, you're a mistake, you're never going to get this, you're never going to...
It's not what you did, it's who you are.
Yes.
That thing, yeah.
And training my mind now when someone says, or I notice I make a mistake, when that tape starts being played, man, hit stop immediately and be like, all right, where's the blessing in this? Do a quick prayer to my higher power and say, where's the blessing? Where's the lesson in this? Like, there's a reason for this. So it changes my mind to completely go a different avenue of, now I'm looking for opportunity, and where's my blessings, and how how can I learn from this versus, damn it, I messed up again. I blow it all the time. You know what I'm saying? That mindset is totally kind of like last episode talking about the you can't have negative and positive in the same same thought, the same thing. So just training my mind, and it's a knee-jerk reaction. The more I do it, the better I get at it, and so that's what really, really works for me.
Nice.
Shout-outs.
Everything on the Facebook page.
Man.
A lot of comments, a lot of interaction. Yeah, it's been really, really good. Shout out to my wife for hooking us up with the fresh gear. If we're just kind of curious if anybody else would like, us to look into maybe designing some shirts or
some merch.
Yeah, something like that.
Definitely get into that. And also, this week, what do you guys think about you guys telling the topic? Yeah, picking the topic. We're throwing it kind of out to you guys. Give us some suggestions, comment either on the YouTube, scroll down the YouTube, or
on Facebook.
On Facebook, the group Our Recovery Live. What's a topic you're looking for, and
or anything else that would make this better, or anything you'd like to see. We're open for suggestions.
Yeah. And so, with that being said, fight the good fight.